the QB of the future, Lamar Jackson, is still to this day waiting for a long-term deal from his Baltimore Ravens team.
Now, whose future is Lamar? Who is he the future of?
He should be the future of Baltimore because I mean, let's be
Ooh,
honest. What else?
maybe. Damn, Cleveland, they ass whoop.
Hey, someone said, "What's good?" Yeah, man. Thanks for checking in with us. Hey, let us know your thoughts on any of this stuff, whether it's Clippers or definitely Lamar Jackson, since we're talking about him right now. But kind of, let me break it down for you real quick.
Hold on, real quick.
Just the contract. Let me break down the contract so it makes sense before you get into your thing.
Lamar's contract?
Yeah, the one that he turned down.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Lamar Jackson, they offered him 3 years, 133 million guaranteed. So that's about 44 million a year guaranteed. Now it was more than that, like Hurts just got 179 million guaranteed for 5 years, which is only about 35 million a year. But
did you see how they broke? I'm gonna send y'all the video how they broke it down. Like it's crazy how the Eagles did it, but I mean, hey, whatever you gotta do to bring in more people.
Right. So it's a $200 million contract with only 179 guaranteed, right? So he actually, even though it's only 35 million guaranteed a year, it's about, it's a little more than that. Actually it's about 40 million, but only 35 guaranteed a year. So this guy was Lamar was going to get 3 years, 133 million guaranteed with about, probably about 150, but 133 guaranteed. So it's 44 million guaranteed a year, but he wanted a longer contract. And they said, we cannot give you longer than that because we just don't know where you're going to be in 3 years. So we'll give you 6 years, 200 million. So that means the first 3 years, 133 million guaranteed. The last 3 years, only 67 million guaranteed, which is about 22 million a year guaranteed. There'd be more than that, but only that much guaranteed. So no matter what, he still would have been making more than Jalen Hurts over the next 6 years. But he wants 6 years at 40 million is what he wants. He don't want 3 at 45. He don't want 6 at 35. He wants 6 at 40. And they said, we're not giving you that much. It's just too much.
Can you blame them though? Because I mean, let's be honest. Football is a short life. Why not make as much as you can, milk the cow so you can't milk the cow no more?
True, but
asking too much though, for real though.
But if he makes,
I'm just saying, like, I mean, this shit been going on for about 2-3, longer than that. Of him trying to debate when he wants, how much he wants his contract to be. It's just like, bro, like at the end of the day, it's about making sacrifices. I understand that you're trying to get paid. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm all for you going to get your money, but at what point is you asking for too much, man? Like, I get that maybe Deshaun Watson probably effed up the NFL, which that's on Cleveland. I mean, that's on them. If we got to swallow that bargain, and so be it. But I just feel like a lot of the players are trying to go that route, and it's like, I'm not saying he's not worth it, but it's just like, how much is really too much though? Like, I mean, come on, 6 years, 200 million or whatever. Like, bro, like any of us, I'm taking that all day. Like, I'm just saying, like, it must be
Nico.
Choose like, hey, I don't want 144 million. Let's try to get 200 million. Like, I mean, I get it that you want to get paid your worth, but bro, come on now, like.
But also, like, let's just say in 3 years he is trash. He still gets 22 million guaranteed for the next 3 years. Like, it ain't chump change. Like, it's not like he's going from, he'll go from 44 million to 22 million a year, but it's still 22 million. Now, let's say he's good in 3 years. He can restructure his contract and get back up to doing 40-something million a year, because that's how the contracts work. You can just keep restructuring them.
Right.
So I don't see how this is for him. Maybe I understand that he just thinks one MVP is worth 6 years at $40 million, but there's only one guy out there getting that. That's Pat Mahomes, and that dude has Super Bowls. So I just don't. I really don't understand.
Yeah, go ahead, Walt.
I mean, just like I said before, man. I mean, I just don't understand how much is asking for too much, man. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not saying he's Brady, but I mean, shit, Brady made certain sacrifices in order to win a Super Bowl. So, I mean, again, I don't mind you getting paid, but it's like, bro, at the end of the day, you're going to need a team to win a Super Bowl. It's not going to just be you. You're going to need an offensive line. You're going to need a running back. I mean, your defense is still good, but I mean, it's still more pieces that y'all can add. And you taking up all that money, it's like, how y'all going to add more pieces in the future? You feel me? Or something like that. So that's just what I'm thinking. Like, I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, if you want something really bad, you got to make certain sacrifices for it. If you really want a Super Bowl, you got to make certain sacrifices. But I'm not saying go Brady's route, but I'm just saying just use that as maybe a pathfinder or something. You feel me? Like, I don't know. I'm just saying. At the end of the day, I want to win Super Bowls. I mean, I want my money, but I also want to win Super Bowls.
Put more pressure on your agent to, hey man, let's just work on getting like. All right, fine. Our contract deal is, we're going to drag this out. But while this is going on, let's start doing commercial deals. Let's start doing other ways for me to make money. Because yeah, sure, you can lock down the greatest contract of all time, or we could get a really good contract, and then you also go get me some commercials and make up that money. Like I don't know when the last time I saw Lamar Jackson on a national commercial was.
That's facts.
Like, so I we see Brady, we see Pat Mahomes constantly on commercials. Like, Chris Paul is one of the most famous faces on commercials. That dude hasn't won a thing, but he's gonna be clean. He's gonna be okay with set for life. He ain't signing the biggest point guard contracts of all time.
That's a great
so I just like, there's so many other ways to make money, and like, especially Baltimore. He should own Baltimore. Every commercial in Baltimore should be Lamar Jackson. There's not another player in Baltimore that can touch him right now. So, I mean, he could clean up there if he wanted to. And so he's trying to get the greatest. He literally wants this to be the second highest paid quarterback in the league. But, like, is he the number 2 quarterback in the league? I don't know that I would say he is.
That's fair.
I mean, I think, we can say what he should do, but at the end of the day, being a quarterback in the NFL is probably one of the more dangerous jobs. Because you got 11 guys on the other side of the ball trying to knock your head off every chance they get. So, I can't blame him for wanting to get the most he can get. Because let's be honest, this shit ain't promised. We saw Tua last year with concussions. DeMar Hamlin last year with a helmet to the chest, and he ain't played since. So, I mean, yeah, we can say what he needs to do, but I think, last year may have put a lot of things in perspective for him. Everybody can't take a Tom Brady-like deal. They can't.
True, but that works both ways. That, because him getting injured last year puts things into perspective for Baltimore, saying, why would we sign you to 6 years, $40 million guaranteed?
Because that's the only option you have at this point.
When you could get hurt,
be an up-and-coming quarterback in the next 6 years, though. I mean,
in the next 6, we got to think about this year.
We've defended Lamar 1,000 times on this show, and we will continue to do so. But what our question is, how much is enough? Like, you have to make a compromise. You can't always just get everything you want in life. Sometimes you have, like, when you go to your boss, you can't just say, I want 100,000 this year. You'll be like, all right, we'll give you a raise. Let's talk about what it's going to be. Like, that's just how things work, man. You can't just go in and say, I want everything I asked for. I want only blue M&Ms when I come into my hotel room. Yeah, you can turn into be that person. You know what I mean? Who just gets their way. I
will say this though. He does need to have somebody that can talk for him as far as these contract negotiations. Because, I never played quarterback, but I'm sure they get very, very nitpicky. And you may get caught up in your feelings. I think he does need somebody. You got to hire somebody that can go and have those discussions for him. Because I think, because it's been done before. Players have negotiated their contracts. Hell, Roquan Smith negotiated his contract with the Ravens. Bobby Wagner been negotiating his own contract since he got in the NFL. So it's possible. But I don't think we've ever seen it from a quarterback's perspective.
Yeah, being done. There's a line from the Batman movie where he says, you either die the villain or you live long enough to. No, you either die the hero or you live long enough to be the villain. I think it can go too far with him. And the thing is, if he drags his team through the mud every year, which is fine, if your team is wrong, you drag them. But I'm saying if you do it every year and you're not also winning me Super Bowls, not winning me playoff games, like then the people will turn on you and they will be like, you know what? Let him go. Let him go. And so I think that's another thing too, is you can also turn people against you, because here's the thing. I'm not saying he's right or wrong. I'm saying the NFL media, they're the kings of running their own players in the mud while protecting themselves and making themselves look good. And honestly, so you're not going to win. Like if you're trying to, you know, to determine who's the better person here, that's not how you're going to win. So
as far as the Ravens go, though, if they were smart, you would have extended him after he won that MVP.
I agree with that. And like I said, we've defended Lamar 1,000 times and criticized the Ravens 1,000 times in the show.
Just like the Eagles just did. Jalen Hurts, you know,
but there has to be a limit. There has to be a time where you say, okay, I'm either going to sign for this amount or I'll just coming out and saying, I'm not playing for this team no more. That's all we want. Like you just can't keep dragging this on for 2 more years. Like it's gotta end at some point. And so it's like, do you want to play for this team or not? Or do you just want the greatest contract of all time? And that's where it's like, come on, man, this has to end, and we'll back you with whatever you decide. Just decide something at this point. $200 million is a lot of money, man. And like I said, man, there are other places to go make your money than just NFL.
Yeah, I was about to say, especially just going to your point, Nico, if you talk about trying to win right now, you will want to wrap this up right now so you can get with your team, so you can start building that chemistry and start, you know what I'm saying, start getting the business. You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. Like, how long are you gonna keep waiting it out if you're trying to win right now? You feel me? Like this, you kind of have the team right now to win right now. But I mean, like I said, I still feel like they could add a few more pieces. But still, at the end of the day, I'm big on chemistry, man. You need to build that chemistry with your team, man, especially with your pieces.
But they could add a few more pieces, but you got to see what his contract is first, because you don't know what you can offer those pieces. Like, can we get a prime linebacker or corner, or can we get?
Just got a prime.
I know that's why I changed it to corner. All right, I knew you were going to say something. I'm making an analogy. All right, man. I'm not saying I'm not. I'm just saying if you're going after a certain piece, like you gotta decide like how much can we offer them. We don't know until we sign Lamar.
Yeah, but the Ravens, if they were smarter, they would have got something done before now.
We agree. We've said that a lot on the show, but at some point now, Lamar has to make a decision, and I feel like the time.
And then too, who's to say Lamar wasn't like, well, shit, y'all ain't gonna bring nobody in? Say, give me my money. You ain't, because think about it, they ain't brought nobody in until this year. Now you bring in Odell. Now you go after Nelson Aguilar. Now, like, come on, dog. You could have it.
I agree. We've criticized all those things. It's coulda, woulda, shoulda, but again, now is Lamar's time. Ball's in his court. He's got to make a decision. And I don't mind if he boycotts that team and walks away from him. I have no problem with that. I respect that.
Either way, just want a decision. That's all.
You can't drag this out for another year, man. You gotta get this finalized.